mchinjiko wakatifira akatichenura zvitema ropa rake rakawerera mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye ropa rake rakatisamba mbiri kunaye ruponeso runoshamisa Jesu ari kugara neni amchinjiko akanditora mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye ropa rake rakatisamba mbiri kunaye zimerino zvitema ndinofarana wamariri umo Jesu andichenura mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye katisamba mbiri kunaye uya kutimera kanaka zviunze kuna muponesi pinda monasi uperere mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye ropa rake rakatisamba mbiri kunaye mbiri kunaye katisamba mbiri kunaye ropa rake rakatisamba mbiri kunaye ropa rake rakatisamba mbiri kunaye.
Greetings, beloved of my Father. Well, today I'm going to give to Pastor Dickett to welcome you. I just want to copy how he does it. Maybe I'll have something new to do. So, Pastor Dickett.
What's up, y'all?
Was that it?
You wanted me to say what? Greeting, beloved my Father. Welcome to Reality Table, which is trending more than COVID-19. We have biscuits, spuds, potatoes. Today our topic, that's you.
Well, let's forget Pastor Dick.
So when I'm talking to the people.
You're talking to the people.
We're back.
Welcome to Reality Table. Well, I'll not even tell you about spuds, biscuits, and COVID-19 and everything else, but let's enjoy the talk show. Today, we are going to talk about I do or die. I do or die. Let me start with you, my beloved sister. Well, I think Pastor Mbiri must bring some more kettle because you have been good to him. I always see him. Yeah, you must bring some more. But I've got a question. Knowing what is happening, of course, not in your marriage, but I'm just saying what we are hearing about people having an exit entry into marriage and weddings and what. And I think there was, something that the parliament is thinking of saying after 10 years, marriage should be null and void.
After 10 years?
After 10 years, yeah, a decade of a marriage. I mean, you can't go for more than 10 years with one person. Variety is the spice of life. That's what they all say. But I've got a question for you. If, assuming, and if that is anything to go by, would you marry again?
Yes, I will.
And would it be the same guy again?
Of course, it will be the same guy.
Okay, I'll ask for your reasons. Let me go to my good friend, Diggett. Just leave the water, my guy.
I don't think you are done with the Simbiri there.
Okay, I think I need enough time with you.
Yes.
So, my good sister, the good doctor, why would you marry again? What's your argument for marriage?
For me, I think what I would, let me just clarify whether I will marry the same person again. I will go for the same person. Not only that I will marry again. I may not trust other people, but for me, I will marry the same person again. Both of us, we've invested a lot in the marriage to make it what we want it to be. So at this moment, we are at a place where we are enjoying. So for that reason, how we have invested into this marriage, we have invested in reading a lot about marriage even before we got married.
So can I ask you a question? How long have you been married?
We've been married for 14 years. Yeah, our 14th anniversary is next month.
Next month?
Yes.
Okay. I hope you do it here at Reality Table. And Pastor Dickett is shaking his head. So my good friend, my best friend.
So we already passed the 10 years, the government 10 years already passed.
Oh, you've already passed. So you're waiting for another 10.
That means that you're overdue.
It's like, it's like a vehicle. When you've gone past the service, it doesn't mean that you have to start from zero again.
No,
it's
overdue. It's overdue.
So my good friend, Pastor Dickett. Now, well, I will not make life difficult. I'll ask you the same question. If you, assuming you're done 10 years and it's now null and void, would you marry again?
Would I marry again?
Yes.
Me.
You.
You know I'd marry again.
Now the question is, would you marry Gugu?
Yes. I'd marry her 3 times.
3 times in 10 years?
I'm telling you. I'd marry again.
So what could be the reasons for you to marry
Just a
again?
moment. Baby, I'll marry you. You only you. I'll marry you, baby. I'll marry you.
Well, Gugu, I know you're going to prepare nice food for Dickett tonight. But what would be your reasons for marrying again?
Because, you know what, let me tell you, people are different.
Okay.
People are different. And you know what, you can't find the same person that you zing with.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you zing.
Zing, yeah. What she was trying to say, that investment, we call it a zing. Where you just, yeah, no matter what it is, you know, you obviously there are challenges and benefits and whatever. There's that thing. We don't know what it is, what you call it. It's just, that's the person.
That's the person.
Yeah.
She has been married for 14 years.
Yes.
How many?
I've been married for 4 years. If you had an opportunity...
Being the host, let me cross over.
No. If you had an opportunity to marry,
yes,
would you marry again?
I would marry her every day.
All right. Would you marry the same person the same way?
Every day, my guy.
So you are saying this because you're
No, sorry, the question, let me marry the same person the same way.
The same way.
No, for me, the part which I will
Same
change.
way is the same way.
The part which I would change is when I got married, it was still bearer checks. So to change for US dollars. Change for US dollars. That's
you
the
mean you have
part.
to pay US dollars?
Yes, that's the part that I will change because
So
he
you're saying
paid
you must
the
pay
bearer
the rate?
checks to my mother.
So you mean
that's
you
the
have
part
to
that
pay
I will
again?
change. Yes.
So we need
If
to
I'm
fix
going
that
to
issue
change,
then.
if you're going to change anything, that's the part
Well,
you'll change.
I think our topic becomes relevant today. I do or
I
die. Okay, let me just cross over to the young people there. Let me start.
First, before you cross over to young people, let's talk about, there's a rumor that the young people acknowledge that their marriages, they have no problem, they see their parents.
Okay.
But I feel the young people have a nyaya they want to say. We have all these programs talking, trying to push them to say, get married. But have we ever asked them to say, after your program, when it's finished, after that 30 minutes, do I really want to, I'm learning for someone else to advise someone else. Do they really want to get married?
Well, I think there's time for us to find out. So I'll do a quick run on all of them, and then we'll come back. So let me start with you, Tawanda. Tawanda, the question, you don't give us reasons as yet. I just want you to know, would you get married?
Given the right conditions, Yes.
Why do you have to?
It's a
What are
science
they?
experiment. It's a science experiment. Given the right conditions, with the
Control the
with
level,
the controls and the
lab
what.
environment.
I remember that statement, ceteris paribus.
Yes.
All things being equal.
All things being.
I
Tawanda,
like-
stop talking in flowers. Talk your nyaya.
Wait. I will get to that point. Let's go to Martin. Martin, thank you for joining us again. I know you are on a good break all the way from Zanzi and you are with us here. But I've got a question. Would you get married?
But you need to say
Yes.
that nicely. You can't just say Mzansi. You know what I mean? You need to give it its.
Zanzi for sure.
You know the story. You need to talk it with the respect. You know what I mean? Mzansi. You can't just say Mzansi like you're saying Zimbabwe.
Come on, what's wrong with Zimbabwe?
I didn't say there's something wrong. I said you must say. You heard me? Zimbabwe. This one is Mzansi. You need to show that
It's for sure.
it's for sure. You know.
Okay, Martin from Zanzi, for sure. Would you get married?
Yes, I would get married.
Hey, I like. No, don't worry. We still get it. We'll
Alright,
get there.
alright.
Today, I just want to find out if they would get married. Sammy. Would you get married?
Would you get married on the same day with your sister? That just crossed my mind right now.
Oh, let me tell you. When we were coming here, I actually came with the twins. So I don't know if I should divulge this. Okay, they're actually looking for a place to stay. They want to move out and stay because it seems they're inseparable. So I asked them a question. If you find a guy who is rich enough and says, I would want to marry the two of you so that you stay together, inseparable,
Oh, why even ask them? They go together.
Wait.
would you get married, Sammy?
To answer both your questions, no, we wouldn't get married on the same day. She has to be my maid of honor, and then yes, I would get married.
She has to be. I like that.
So it's a job to be a twin.
It's a job.
You
man.
have to be my maid of honor, then I have to be. So if you are the maid of
No,
honor,
wait.
then I must be single.
No, let's not assume because from the way Sammy is saying, she's actually saying I'll get married first, so
Oh,
that
she-
she becomes my maid. I think that's what I picked.
Well, that's what she's now telling the sister on set.
That's what I picked. Shannon,
Are there no twin boys in the Adventist church? Maybe we can, you know what I mean? Set they married on the same day, it would be nice.
I think we can put it to reality table to make that thing become a reality.
I wonder what it would be. How to marry the
Twins.
same people.
Only Pastor Deacon can say such things. Let me come to you, Shannon. Shannon, would you get married?
Oh, yes, I would, and definitely not to a twin brother.
Having lived the life of a twin, you know what?
That went south very quickly.
It went on a different tangent. And now I need to understand. When Sammy says you'll be my maid of honor, my suspicion was she's going to get married first, and then would you, if that happens, would you make her your maid of honor as well?
If she got married first?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure.
Maybe you guys need time to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay,
You see, Pastor, some of your questions are splitting homes. Let's just assume they didn't talk about it.
Mose, would you get married?
I think
Don't think.
depends. No, but guys, you have to be realistic. It depends. We've had a lot of drama out here. Sometimes you think twice about marriage, but yeah, I think I would. I really want to get married, but then if the conditions don't allow, as my brother said, I wouldn't. I'd be a Paul, a eunuch, devoted to the Lord.
You know, you were just
These
supposed to say yes or
conditions.
no, but then you gave us a composition. But I think the answer is okay. Let's go to Kuda. Kuda, would you get married?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a resounding
Kuda,
yes.
would you get married to one woman?
Oh yes, one woman. Two. Two. I don't think that would be something that one man can handle, man. Two women.
Oh my goodness.
You can't even handle the one that you already have.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this topic.
Kuda, can I remind you?
I
Kuda,
do or
can I
die.
remind you?
Okay. Let me come back to you, Pastor Dickett. You know, you gave us. I want to assume it's an assumption, and people have generalized that a lot of young people are questioning the marriage bliss or the marriage institution to say, is it really necessary for my assumption is probably they've experienced or witnessed some things that are happening within families. What could be some of the issues before we cross over to the young people?
I think some of the issues that could be there is it's a natural thing I mean, that's what we live for. I mean, it's like being adventurous. You're hoping to be a pathfinder.
Okay.
And then after that, you're not even sure whether you're an ambassador or senior youth, but it doesn't matter. The one we are hoping for is to be a pathfinder. It's clear cut. Once you're after an adventurer, there's drill and marching in pathfinders, your uniform, it's exciting, and then you just move into this place. Then you're called an ambassador. Now there's no more drill and marching. There's no more, then you're going to senior youth. And if you take time in senior youth, you end up in a silver club. And then at silver club, you don't know what happens after that club. You Amo or Dorcas or something. It's a natural thing, an expected thing that every young person is anticipating. They're anticipating it because we preach about it so many times. Young people marry, 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 marry. But the challenge I have is maybe they've seen the marry, marry. And Mary is not Mary. They've seen whatever is there in the church today. Whatever church, whichever church it is, that's the example they've seen. They've seen on the internet, they've seen in the world, they've seen their celebrities. The breaking, you can just go in, if it doesn't work for you, you get out. That's what they've seen.
Doc, you know, most of our young people, they like reading novels, watching telenovels. What? Telenovela. Where, you know, one person can move from their personal it's no longer your personal person, eh? They just move from one person to another, and it's like as simple as that. Could it contribute to the reason why, if there's an assumption that a lot of young people are now questioning the marriage institution?
Yes, I think so, because the society or the community where one is raised shapes your values, and it shapes the way you think. So if the young people, what all they are seeing, there's unfaithfulness in marriage, because you find out I was talking to some people yesterday, young girls, they were saying they're at the university. They see the elders coming to these girls. So they wonder, so if I get married, my husband will also be going to get these young girls. So what's the purpose of getting married if the elder that I see at church on Saturday is coming to me? I think
you just say, don't say elder church, just say if men. When you say the elder church, you know, I think because now elders, they think now we are always against them. They say, how come they are always talking about our shenanigans here?
Yeah, but because you see, that's the assumption, because we all think it's just elders. Sometimes it's elders' wives. It's not just elders. But you see,
yes.
I can't talk, I'm a guy. Who do I tell? It's like when you're raped and you're a guy. Who do you tell? It's embarrassing. But it's not, if it's normal for an elder to go for a young person. What about those who have been approached by elders' wives with a through pass? Pastor, you're looking very nice today.
You're talking from experience, I can tell.
Don't put it on me. Why are you putting it on me?
Okay, fine. Before, just hold to the
But how do you stop the Nyaya? It's like I feel like
Wait, because I just want us to do something very quick here. We might not be able to speak all of us before we go for the break, but let me start with the ceteris paribus guys, the guys who are talking about conditions. Tawanda, you gave us that if the conditions are right, what defines the right conditions?
And what are these conditions?
Yeah, before I get into that, I just want to say, as young people, to put a voice into it, we really do accept the idea of marriage, and we like the idea of marriage. But when you look at the institution of marriage, it's very mad, and like how you put across, there's so much unfaithfulness, so much things that are happening that when you look at it, you don't really look at a happy place where people find love and people find compassion. So in the right conditions, you realize in the time we live in now that sometimes we realize that the person you want to have with, the person you have in dating, courtship, and the person then you now have in marriage are two different people. In that, when we say the right conditions, we're meaning that sometimes you want someone who's emotionally, but now they change when now in marriage, because what they wanted to achieve, they have achieved, which was the end goal, which is marriage. Yes. And from the same reason, my pastor alluded that both parties have invested in the marriage. That's why she wants to continue the marriage. That's another reason that a lot of people are staying or going into these marriages, because they have invested and they realize that, oh, okay, since I spent so many X years and so many X amount of money with this person, then why not just pin it down and we see how it goes? So it's given the right conditions, but I think mostly the people that we find and the people that then turn up in marriage, seems like they're two different people. Yeah.
Kuda, you gave us a definite yes. Well, let me not say I wasn't expecting it, but I was just surprised because it was so definite. Like,
Why?
it's like you can't wait to get into marriage. What could be the reasons? I mean, given the conditions and the situations that most young people are talking about, maybe let me just hear why that was a definite yes.
Yeah, one of the reasons is like what Tawanda has said, that it's a little bit mad. People in marriages tend to have I would say play a facade. They don't come out, they don't give us the real picture. So I want to figure out what really happens within the marriage institution, because believe you me, what we see and what we tend to discover after a couple of times somebody who would have given an expose about certain people's marriage would be totally different. So I think I want to experience and I want to go through my own marriage experience.
Totally love it. Shannon, okay, Shannon, the one in black is Shannon, eh? Pastor Dickett.
Obviously. The one in
Obviously.
front is Sammy.
It's Sammy. Shannon, you are smiling from Cape to Cairo.
Yes.
So let's hear why you're smiling. After that, I'll come back to the good doctor, and let's hear why you're smiling.
Well, I was just amazed at why they're not even thinking about the wedding day. I mean, the ring, the bridesmaids, all that attention, and you get to have all those people just looking at you all day.
Mose.
I mean, of course, let me just specify on the rings. I mean, who wants to have an entity for a ring? What are you going to show your girls?
Hey, now we're talking carat, eh? 18 carat, 21.
24.
24.
Yes.
Hey, Mose, you know, I wanted to go to the good doctor, but I feel like Mose has to say something here because it's like he's another word like, hey, you're talking about this, but for me, Mose.
Pastor, I think about the wedding day. Let's start with the Lobola. Where it's 10,000 for the Lobola. This is 10,000 and this is
RTGS, like the
no,
way. Like,
no. Look at him. Falling cover. It's $10,000 Lobola. After I pay my Lobola, you then also expect the same man who paid the Lobola to start planning for the wedding. Let's just say another 10,000 wedding. Before we finish there, I have to be valaring Mromos and paying for the steps. I mean, I'm paying you to walk. to walk. I'm paying you to walk. And after that, you want me to and I need to get my idea. I'm paying all this to get a woman to come into my house. And from what I've discovered, so that she can give me curfews and tell me what to do in the house that I bought.
You know what, Mose, I think you know what you must do. You must send in an application either to Hollywood, Nollywood, Bollywood, or whatever wood it is, because you make a.
I'm being real.
You're being real.
I'm being very real. We're trying to stay in the clouds, but let's come back to earth and be realistic.
So these are the conditions that we're saying if all things are okay.
If all things are okay, if the man...
let me come to the good doctor and talk about the wedding and, you know, the Lobolas. I used to complain about it, but now I'm actually seeing that I think it's good we actually... I know I finished, but he hasn't. But, it's good that we had to go through the route of Lobola because there is accountability and, okay, let me come to the good doctor because I don't want to say what Pastor Dickett wanted to say. In your own words, is it good? I mean, the Lobola wedding thing, the expenses and everything. And advice to you, my guy, I think you should get married in lockdown so that you don't expense a lot of things. But take us through Lobola wedding. Is it a necessary expense? Because I heard that you do it different, maybe even more extravagant than
To me, I think it's necessary. It's a way of appreciating the girl's family. I told you, if we were to do this again, I would want my husband to pay US dollars. Because he paid the bearer checks. I think he paid on, I got married, the traditional was done on 31 December. We got married on 29 April. By the time it was 29 April, that money had expired. My mother didn't have anything for the wedding because the money he brought had expired.
Pastor,
So I
wherever
would...
you are, bring back the money. Bring back the money.
hashtag bring back the money. And the good thing is I'm actually a brother, so are you giving me
So
the
you know. So you need to tell him to. He finished. Apparently, he finished the money that was charged. He finished on that day. I think he was charged around 1,200,000. It was 1.2 million. Yes, he was charged 1.2 million bearer checks, and he paid. He finished.
So the pastor was a millionaire.
Yes, he was a
Doma,
millionaire. So
yeah,
I'm
so
a
my
millionaire,
condition.
dollar baby.
Doma conditions are
So I always get young people asking this question. When you look into the Bible, when Abraham sent his servant to get a wife for Isaac, they had gifts for this family, for the bride's family. They were given gifts. To me, I would equate it to Lobola.
But Mo is saying it is the condition that we are in that that makes it different now.
I think, but the concept is the same.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
concept is the same. When Abraham sent his servant to get a wife, he didn't go empty-handed. They had lots of gifts to give.
Not
And
gifts, but lots.
lots, yes, they had lots of gifts to give. And if you see, I mean, you pastors, you know the similarities between the Jewish culture and us as Bantus. So there are so many similarities. So in this context, even the Lobola, they might not have charged the Vulamromo, the whatnot, but it was an expected thing that you bring this. So it is expected that a young man should work for the things, make things ready. I think, of course, there are people who are now overcharging, overpricing, or making a killing on this Lobola issue. But it should be something. I don't think girls should just go for free. No,
Okay.
that's why I refuse.
We're
the
about to go
bearer
for a
checks.
break, but before we go for a break, I'm just going to ask Pastor Dickett, don't give us a composition, just one word answer. Do you appreciate the Lobola as well as the wedding?
Yes.
And you like it?
You said one word.
Now this is the second one. Is it because, you know, one person said, if you're a man, it's either you decide to be right or you decide to be happy.
Yes.
Are you answering because you want to be happy?
I want to be happy.
Join us after the break. I'll do or die as we continue to talk about the marriage institution. Is it marriage bliss or marriage blisters?
wathi ngegama likaJesu ngathola ukukhululwa wesumthandazo wami wangithethelela wangingethula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo ngangisonesibi ngeza enkosini wathi ngegama likaJesu ngathola ukukhululwa.
Welcome back. I'll do or die. Pastor Dickett, this is quite interesting. Yeah. Today you're just going,
It's because, I don't know, maybe I'm from a different culture, you see. Yeah, I'm from a different culture, so the appreciation...
Why are you saying maybe?
Because you see, sometimes it becomes hard for you to be vocal where you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, I experienced Lobola. I experienced it.
Did you finish or you were finished?
I was died. I was trying to do, but I died. I died that day. But I want to tell you what. You only pay for something that's worth it.
Yeah.
In all honesty, you pay bride price for something that's worth it. That's the first one. The second one is you pay bride price just for the sake of making yourself, because you can afford it, let me say. There's some guys who pay bride price like a joke. But I'm talking Christian context.
Okay.
I don't think there's anyone who can go through that process for playing games.
Of course.
Because you feel it. Especially if you like marrying a Shona, Ah, yeah, you feel it. If you're marrying in Ndebele, you feel it-ish. But it also depends on what they're
It's a
incorporating.
situationship.
It's a situationship, that thing. But you have to be worth it. I don't think you have to be worth it. So in other words, parents should stop forcing their children onto people that they love on behalf of their daughters. Because now when you look back at it, you just think, that was a waste of time.
Hey, don't say that.
The second thing you must understand, if you charge so hard, you are not just killing this marriage here. You are killing everything. They're starting off on zero. Because the cultural demands are so great that you guys look good in front of your people. But the day after that, it's game over. They have nowhere to stay, which is natural, right? But they have no rent to pay to stay somewhere.
You're actually in date because
Yeah,
you still
you're-
have to cover some.
And for who? People who are talking like, ah, yes, asidlanga inyama. Ah, you know, the food yayingile shoma. But if you ask who paid for that stuff, it's that guy who's standing there. That boy who's standing there, who was trying to prove he's a man. All he needed was COVID to come, 30 people, and we'd be happy.
My pastor, no, good. I still want to come
wait,
back.
let me make my point. You know, the kids that got married
Yeah.
in COVID,
Yeah, they're enjoying.
I had a member who married in COVID. They invested the money I would have invested in a wedding on the honeymoon. They had honey in that moon. They had honeymoons, half moons, full moon, quarter moon.
You know what I like about people from your culture? The way you express it, it's like you were there when they were having honey in the
No, it's
moon.
when they're telling you, you feel pain. You feel pain. You know where we went? He said, Pastor, thank you so much for taking the wedding, man. We managed to, just a small thing, there was just sandwiches and a drink. And we managed to go to, when they mentioned the place, they mentioned another place. I said, you went to this, is this still honeymoon? He's like, yeah, man. We had enough, we had surplus. Yeah,
Okay.
so when we came back, we rented a garden flat. And that's where we are right now, something small. But on our way back, we bought a vehicle. And here you are.
Hey,
Saying, the day after I got married.
Don't put us on a filling
I
station
I
because we
was,
never had that,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. The day after you got married, you were a pauper beyond paupers. So the COVID situation, yes, it came with bad things. But in terms of how much children were spending, it was great. Because it just needed 5 people, get married in court, you are blessed, and then that's it. So we overspend because sometimes the culture demands that we need to show people. So the why I'm not really commenting much on that is because it's the same guy. That boy is the same boy who's supposed to look after your daughter. But you are robbing him of future money he doesn't even have.
Okay. I know you want to say something. I know you want to talk about the wedding because I know for the woman, the wedding is everything
But
else.
is there a difference
No,
between
for
the
me-
wedding and the marriage? Is there? What's the difference?
I think we have two separate things here. We have the traditional wedding where the guy brings the money, the bride price, and then the Lobola, and then we have the white wedding. To me, I think we have mixed two cultures.
Yeah.
We have mixed the two cultures, and that's making it expensive for us.
Yeah.
Because for us, traditionally, if a person gets married with a customary marriage, it's still good enough. Without the white wedding, if you are married customarily, your parents agree, you can get your blessing from the pastor, you can get your marriage registered, and you go to your husband. But we are mixing the two things. We are mixing two things.
There are conditions to that. On the day you're lobolaring, you can have the pastor there and you sign a paper.
Yes, to register. Like in Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
we have the law like to register your marriage. Like actually we
So you
recognize the
can't stop
customary
the
marriage.
lobola. You can't just say, I'm taking my wife without registering the marriage.
No, you can.
So is that right now?
Sorry?
No, I think customarily that's okay. But
Customarily,
you're
it's
looking
okay.
at the church side, right?
The church side, even the church side, they'll still agree. If your parents are happy with the Lobola paid and they are happy that you go and they pray for you, they free you to go, even without the white wedding. The church still accepts that.
No, I'm not talking about the white wedding. I'm talking about the paper, signing of the paper.
You can still go without signing of the paper, because signing of the paper is necessary for the Zimbabwean government to have your marriage registered, because you'll need this paper somewhere in future. I mean, in the future. So you can still go without this paper as long as your parents agree.
Can I ask you
according to the
one?
customary.
Can I
Yes.
put you on the spot?
Yes.
Would you want to go that way yourself?
Can I make this?
No,
Wait,
let
can I
me
make the
say,
sport
it's
even
just
better?
that.
Can I make the sport even better?
Did I even ask that question? Sorry,
You
sorry,
did
my
well.
sister.
You did well. Because what I wanted to ask was, so if you can just go that way, and just go that way. Remember we asked you, say, would you marry him?
Yes.
Again. Did he make a mistake by putting that white element, which has protected you all these years?
No, you know, I think like as young girls, when you're growing, you play house. You know, you play house. Maumwe. You're playing house. You're also playing. You're a bride. You have these things. I'm sure you have a daughter. Your daughter sometimes may pretend that she's getting married. She's doing this. So they are raised looking forward to this day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't remember playing house thinking of the marriage day, the Lobola day. That one, I don't even know it.
It is the white wedding.
It is the white wedding that I grow up having in my mind. So you see, is it Shannon or Sammy was talking about the rings, the bridesmaids?
So you're also confused
you are,
with the two.
you envision this day even from a young age. You want your day to be like this. Everyone is looking at you, saying, "Wow, you have this white gown, everything. You're seeing your cake in place."
You have
everything.
answered my question.
No, but you know what? That question wasn't answered.
No, she has answered it. She has answered.
I'm waiting for the part where she says, for the Lobola to be complete, your marriage must be registered. Paper-wise, by the magistrate courts there. And then you can go and do whatever you do. Because if you leave it like that, then why are we struggling to be registered? Let us take these women. And
No,
then
I think
in
we
there,
need
when we are now
to
thirsty for
separate.
another,
We
we take
need
them because the other one says, if I feel and we agree, why am I struggling with one
You know
woman?
what I like about this show? When you're the host, you just enjoy when people.
We need to separate these two things, Pastor Ticket. We need to separate these two things. Zimbabwe recognizes customary marriage even without the paper. As long as your parents and you agree, you can still go. But having the paper has many advantages over a customary marriage which is not registered.
Yes,
So
but
going for the
we
paper.
are saying as, you see,
But the paper does not
Mindfulness.
should not come with all these expenses, getting balloons from Honolulu, getting
don't put, you're putting many nyayas here. Wait. This is where I've stickered. In the other things, I hear you 110%.
The
Yes.
paper is
The
where you are.
paper is where I am. Because even on the comment section right now, it's getting hot. They are saying, it's your cult. Now I feel like, how do I even comment? It's not my cult. I'm saying, that paper
Yes.
has caused for us nyayas. The first nyaya that paper has caused, one, you're baptized Seventh-day Adventist, we give you a paper. Why is it not, we don't give you a paper, the Lord will lead? Even baptism has a paper, same-day service. Number two,
Where's the paper?
you come with pastor there. We see you, adventurer leader, pathfinder leader, youth leader. In fact, he's almost elder now. Then something happens. Then 2 minutes, 2 seconds, you're now saying, by the way, it wasn't registered. It was just customarily. Now the custom ends here by Kwati. So now I'm now coming to understand, to say, but what do you mean? Because you've stayed so long together. And then now the children are watching. To them, like you were saying, Maumbo, you don't talk about Malobolos. They know you are married because the church has given you position. Now you are causing the kids now to start asking questions that could be dealt with right now. The first question to be dealt with right now, what is the essence of that paper? What does it imply? Remember, we did this before.
Yes.
And we said, if it is possible, and you're a Seventh-day Adventist youngster, and you want to take your bride home that day, the day of Lobola, call a marriage officer, pastor or magistrate or whatever, sign your paper.
Yes.
The other things I don't understand, but one thing I understand is you are signing a paper for monogamy. You are signing that paper for monogamy because there's other one which is potentially polygamous.
Okay. So if I get this thing right, I think what the good doctor here was explaining is it's not necessary, but you'd want it. And that's the best way
The
to go.
lavish wedding.
Yeah.
The lavish wedding.
It's
That's
not
the one
necessary.
I'm saying
That's
it's
what
not
we agree.
necessary.
That one we're not talking
The
about
lavish
it. We
wedding.
don't want
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
We are talking about the traditional one. How does it end? We know how it starts. How does it end? For a young, let's say Moses. You see Moses? Moses has got his girlfriend there. And then he says, I want to marry traditionally, but I don't have money for what? For all your balloons and your steps and what.
From
what.
Honolulu.
So I want now to do culturally.
Yes.
We are saying give him advice now.
Okay. Okay. So Moses, it would be what would be good for you is to you have your money in place, you have your people, do the negotiations, you have the pastor to bless the marriage, and you start your marriage.
By blessing the marriage, are they
Now
signing
he's
something?
asking about the paper.
Oh yes, like from what you said, it prevents or it ensures maybe.
Mapeza ma sports. Mapeza ma sports.
Yes.
Now let's come to Sammy. Sammy, let's talk about the wedding. I think the wedding.
Ask Sammy which one, traditional or white, which one she wants.
Okay, Sammy, would you? She's putting on a white T-shirt, so I think it's over.
Are you saying she's white?
Well, let's hear from
Shots fired. Shots fired. It's okay. So I was going to say, let me just nip it in the bud for everyone who's listening. And let me just explain something in one statement. We can have all the customary wala wala that we want, but we're not going to do it. Because we have done being a bridesmaid for so many lavish weddings, like so many times, and you keep telling yourself, you know what, I'm going to wear that dress, and I'm going to wear it with flair, because my friend did it too.
Yep.
So it's not about, look, I've got to look immaculate on the day. And you're talking about the customary thing. Guys, have you been on social media? I see you haven't. The customary thing has become so big, I need to have a dress for that, like something that looks like a ball gown but still maybe brown or something. And then after that, I'll be having the white dress. Look, it's all something that we want.
And
but
Moses
then
is paying.
Yeah, Moses is paying.
leave him out of this.
Oh, sorry.
The question is, who's gonna pay for those things?
This?
Who's
Who
paying
is
for this?
funding all this?
Wait, I'm still to finish.
I like the way you stand your ground. Please go ahead.
Look, you know what? I am so disappointed that you all don't think that I have enough money to finance my dreams.
Yes.
Wow. Now you have nipped it in the bud. I like that. I like that. Can I go to Martin? Martin, would you marry Sammy?
Well, if she's saying she's gonna pay for the white wedding, I mean, why not? Because I'm just gonna pay the lobola and the customary marriage and sign the papers. Then she'll deal with the white wedding.
Okay, if you are going to be, if you're going to make her look immaculate, even if she has nothing, are you going to do it?
On the traditional wedding, yes.
We are
Okay,
in
sorry,
trouble.
sorry, Pastor.
Yes,
So
yes, good doctor.
Our guys, you do not have a problem with the traditional wedding. Is that what you're saying? Yes. You're fine with the traditional wedding, but it's the white wedding which you are having.
Can I say something?
Yes,
Yes.
Kuda, go ahead.
Except if you are comparing ourselves to the story of, what's his name? The one who, Jacob, yeah. Jacob, who had to work for about 7 years so that he could get his wife. Yes, in that essence, we can say that, yes, marriage and working for our wife and, you know, that
But
struggle.
Kuda, you know what? Me, I like practical things.
Can
These
I-
are flowers.
can I speak?
These are flowers. We throw these things and we say traditional. To me, it's not sounding any cheaper. It's like,
Especially now.
it's not sounding any cheaper because it's not about the type of wedding. It's about the concept. Are you even marrying someone you love? Like, what's up with that? Because I've seen guys who go through all this. The whole day we're dancing. Then next 3 days it's game over. Why did you go through that expense, guy? So I'm saying to you, 14 years for the same honey. I mean, for the same 14 years for the, you know what I mean? I might go off on the slip. 14 years to bypass to get the girl that you wanted. It's because you wanted her. You wanted her. Some of these people that you're marrying or wanting to marry, your friends want her.
Yeah,
For
keep
you.
up appearances.
Yeah. And you are keeping up appearances and you want someone who's ready to give you the white wedding, you've always thought, but you have not thought beyond the wedding. Your mind has not gone into the marriage. That's why the paper is faster, faster, faster. Let's get this thing overdone. Traditional is my culture. It becomes your culture, but your culture has got an impact on the marriage. Then you want to come and stress people with the white type of wedding culture, which is found in church. It's no longer relevant because your documentation here is clashing with this one. Why I'm saying what I'm saying is, young people, when they are offered the woman, they're not signing that paper, ma'am. They're taking that woman. So what happened was, when we were done paying, the stuff, I was asked a question. I didn't know what to do. And some of these guys were like church people. They said to me, so son, do you want to take your wife now?
Yes, the question is asked.
Hey, in my first time, I was like, take away.
That's
That's
why I was saying culturally, if you are done paying culturally, the paper is not, they would now say, we are happy with you, do you want to take it? If you are now then the one who will say, okay, we are requesting for a wedding.
Yeah, so at that point now, they said, do you want to take her or you want to take her after the wedding? I said, no, I don't have a document. Why? In my last class at Solus, we studied marriage.
And you also didn't have a house.
And I didn't, but I didn't have things. In my last class at Solus, we studied marriage. And there were 2 papers. In those 2 papers, one of them was a paper, yes. But one of them had this element to say it's an open marriage. And in the society that we're living in, everyone wants that open marriage. Right now, you can sue someone for doing wonders in your home. You can sue for adults. But if your paper says potentially polygamous, you can't do anything. And the youngsters today are seeing us make mistakes and have these traditional type of weddings which have a problem in your Christian walk. And that's why we can't answer certain questions, because the papers had not been put the right way. So this guy takes his girl and he's gone and they have a baby. There's no paper. So now they come and they say, Pastor, we want to dedicate what? The child. Now you don't know, dedicate as what? As member or as others. So you take the baby and you dedicate it. But the truth of the matter is, the young people should know. Let the young people know the implications of not signing the paper. The implications of signing the paper. The implications of saying, when you're now paying a bride price, you're moving from boyhood to manhood. At least use your money for something that you love. There's no one who buys an expensive sneaker. We don't talk about price. If you see someone talking about price, they are broke. They're not your client. They must keep on walking. They must talk about value. Do you know if there's a woman that is beautiful as my wife? She's like, she's biomoy. That Macy's khanlaka. Hey! You know, when you look at her from the side like this, you just when she's walking like this, after she puts a new hairstyle, which I would have financed. She looks from the side and says, how do I look? You're just trying to be humble, because if the answer is the same, you keep on saying, you're looking, even scared if she goes into town, you're finished. But you know your heart must always beat. You get it? But the way she looks is not a marriage.
Yeah.
The way she looks is not a marriage. That's just a carcass for other other activities. There's more to it. That cake will finish. That cake, you will serve it to an auntie you don't even like.
Yeah.
That paper, you have to pay the pastor to come and bless you.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's the 2 of you. Then the marriage begins.
Then the sports begin.
Pastor, I want to ask you a question. Yeah. Sorry, I want to ask you a question. Is it the paper which protects you from cheating? Because the way you are emphasizing the paper, I know the paper is important. Yeah. Is it the paper? Because to me, we have this confusion where young people focus on the wedding more than the marriage.
Yes.
Okay? Because if like all these things, people want to have, what Semi said, she wants to wear this gown with flare.
I quote the word immaculate.
Yes, immaculate. she wants that. The focus is on the wedding more than on the marriage. Yes. And even if you sign the marriage certificate, it's not the one which is going to stop you from committing adultery if you haven't proposed in your heart that I will not do this.
Can I cross over to the guy? You know, these guys have been bending.
It's more than, to me, it's more than the paper that is important. Like
It is the
when
actual marriage.
it is the actual marriage. You know, when he asked me if I was going to marry the same person again, I said I've invested a lot in this marriage, even before the marriage. I remember the time we got married, my husband was a chaplain at Nyawuni. The time he would come to Harare to see me, I was at the University of Zimbabwe. He would come, he would bring this book, Family Matters, he would want us to read. And to me, at least that time, in the beginning, I was thinking, this guy.
You're blushing, can you see?
Yes, no, they never think that. They would think this guy wants to make me holy. What's happening?
This guy, even the first time he gave me a present, it was wrapped in my head. I was thinking, I think this is a Bible. This guy, what
What are you saying? I gave my wife a Bible for the first time. That's what she was thinking.
Well,
It was
that's
not
the
even-
blessing of being married to a pastor. You get great
But
controls.
you know, he
Oh,
was,
is that why she said, it was sweet?
but now what I'm saying is, of course, at first I was saying, okay, so is this the way this guy wants? Is this the romance? Is this romance in this relationship? Coming with the Family Matters book, asking us to read chapters on courtship, and you would photocopy. If you know this Family Matters book, at the end of each chapter, it has some
You know
questions.
what? The more you talk,
And then-
the more you're exposing me. I think let's go to the young
It's
people.
not just you.
Shamar, we all do that.
Exposing us.
What was it about that? And you know,
It's like we're taught about this at Solus,
you know what? When we were doing that,
Okay, you
we
were talking
trying-
about that.
Now I'm
You know
saying
what? We
it
were
makes it
trying
look
to
like
be-
we're taught at Solus.
You know what? We're trying to prove that we are different from other guys. Yeah.
No, but you know what? I like from this end. That's why I said we have invested a lot. If I'd gone into marriage only thinking about the wedding day without preparing, we took a time reading, going through these books to heaven, to old, and this. The time we got married, I knew about conflict resolution. I knew about communication from the way we were investing. Like the way we were reading, the way we were. So we took time to prepare for the marriage, not only the wedding day.
Yeah, that's the point.
Mose, I see you are Benny. You want to say something, my guy?
Definitely. I had two questions, but I think one has been answered. One was to talk about, I think the women have to decide whether we're going cultural or going Western. I think that's the first thing that should be made clear. Because in the Western culture, the reason why the guy pays an expensive ring is because the family covers the wedding. You get my point? So
You just want to run away from the expense, from the way that.
He's telling the truth. He's telling
Yeah,
the
I'm
truth.
just saying.
You just rock up there with your suit.
Yeah, but the ring has to be expensive.
Of course.
That's with the Western culture. And my culture then says you pay the Lobola or pay the sports. There's no need for you to come to Mandara and say, I'm hiring your church. How much is it going to cost me? What?
No, but please come to Mandara. We want you to come and wed.
Then my second question was more of, I think the reason why we fear marriage, like personally I do fear marriage, is because you will be like Jacob, who invested 14 years in working for her, to only have, I think, close to 10 years with her. And that's if it doesn't end up as a Hosea situation where you're going to have to buy her from another guy, where daily you're going to have to win her from another guy. You know, it's nice to win each other again, but it's a different ball game to win her from someone else. It becomes strenuous, and this is the reality that people are facing today.
Okay.
They are signing a monogamous relationship, but at the end of the day, it's becoming polygamous, and it's coming both sides. Where it's now marriage is more of a revenge game. You cheated once, I'm also going to cheat twice.
Well,
And you're
this
going to
this
discover.
this topic is quite exciting, and I know we need to continue talking. But time, time. You said
If there was a way, what Moses just said, if we delete everything that he was speaking about, what Moses just said is the true fear.
yeah. So this is what I was thinking. I think let's delve into that in our next one of the discussions, so that we talk about the fears of getting into marriage, so that we can actually address it as something that we can put on the table. But having said that, we, like I said, time is not on our side, and I wish we could actually continue discussing this issue, because it's more important for us to prepare for the marriage more than the
wedding.
So, Pastor Ticket, would it be a good thing for us to probably go into second part of this?
Yes,
Look
I think let's do this. Let's say marriage versus wedding.
Okay.
Let's talk about them without talking about many other things. When these children are at the point of marriage, let's discuss them as in marriage versus wedding.
Marriage
So that we
versus
can
wedding.
discuss even the types, traditional versus white.
Okay.
So that at least it's out there and people make their choices and not feel guilty, because you make me feel poor. To say I got married traditionally, embarrassing. And no one knows. Just your rural people or wherever you come from. It's embarrassing.
If at all they came.
Yeah, that's why we struggle to make sure you beep, beep, no. It's because
And you have to make the horn so
you know
high so that
and
people know
you
that
hired
has
the
happened.
car. After 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, you're catching combis home.
So please, before we leave, I want you to sit down with Moses, Kuda, Martin, and Tawanda, and then just tell them what they must do in terms of the books to photocopy and the pages and be able to do that. Well, friends at home, it has been nice having you. But before we go, I would want
Moses sent the girl Desire of Ages. At least you got family matters. The guy said Desire of Ages. My Desire of Ages.
but it's better than Great Controversy.
What are you saying? I gave Kuku Great Controversy.
Well, I think Great Controversy is the best thing to do. So guys, before we go, maybe just a word, I think in less than 20 seconds, 30 seconds, just give us anything that you'd want to share with young people and your desires. When you do so, we'll come back to the platform and my good doctor here will dismiss us with a blessing of a prayer and maybe just words of advice. Wedding versus marriage. It must come soon, eh?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. I'll start with you, Tawan.
Yeah, I'll say marriage is an institution designed by God, and it's something that represents the church and between Christ. So I think it's the best thing, given the right conditions, to end upon.
The conditions, you still have them, my guy. Martin, all the way from Muzansi, for sure.
Well, the only thing I can say is procrastination is the thief of wife to the guys, and procrastination is the thief of a husband to the girls. That's the only thing.
I think it's a good topic. What do you think? I mean, we must.
I think we're running with that one.
We're running with that one.
Procrastination
Is the thief of wife?
Okay, I like that. Sammy.
Okay, so I was gonna say, let's just not focus on the idea of getting married, but let's rather think of staying married. And if you want those expensive things for ourselves, ladies, let's learn how to work for them and not stress someone else's son for that.
That
yeah.
one that comes out last minute.
I mean, it's always the best.
I'm telling you.
Shannon.
I'm gonna say to my fellow females out there, instead of spending our time on social media looking at other people's white weddings and flashy things and stuff, let's spend more time preparing ourselves for the marriage, because the wedding is only like 8 hours or 5, 6, I don't know.
Depending on what time you come.
So let's spend more time preparing for the marriage, because it's a lifetime thing.
Mose.
I have one. To all the girls out there, love the guy who sends you a copy of a book.
The guys what?
Love because there's a copy of the book. What book is it?
Desire of Ages, guys.
Kuda, close it for us, my guy.
I wish that all the folks who are into marriage would actually give us a heads up about what they are going through. Because it seems like a lot of us, we are rushing in trying to get married, but seems like most of the older folks are trying to find the smallest of gap that they can find to get out of marriage.
The smallest of gap. Hey, I mean, you've heightened it to another level, man. The smallest. They just want to get out. Pastor Dickett, would you mind if I give the good doctor to wrap it up and pray
No,
first?
give her to wrap it up.
Okay.
She started the nyai.
She started the nyaya. Eh?
I think to the young people, I can say that marriage is good if you partner with God and you get the right person. Don't get into marriage looking for an opportunity to go out. The slightest window of opportunity to go out. I think if you go into marriage with that mentality, that I can as well divorce 3 days later or whatever, 72 hours later, that is wrong.
Sorry, before you conclude, they said this guy took the paper that he's been talking about. After a couple of days, so he's looking at the paper, he's putting it in. So The brother says, what are you looking for? He says, I'm looking for the expiry date.
He's already tired. He wants to know, are we done? We finished.
Yes, you can
So
continue.
don't get into marriage looking forward, thinking that whatever, when something goes wrong, I have a way out. I think that would be wrong. Take your time. Invest in the marriage, like what you have been saying. Invest in the marriage more than the wedding. It's good if you want the white wedding, like the girls. Yes, we all dream about that day. There is nothing wrong with having your dream wedding, as long as you can finance it, as long as you are not straining your partner. You don't want to walk home after the wedding when you have spent all these monies on hiring cars. So do something that is within your reach. You don't live for people. Don't do an extravagant wedding for people who are going back to their homes talking about this, you missed this on your wedding, and you don't even know those people you want to please on your wedding day. So work on how the two of you can stay married until Jesus comes. I think that's important.
Well, you can dismiss us with a word of prayer.
Let's pray. Eternal Father, who art above, glory and honor to you, for your worth to be praised. We thank you, dear Heavenly Father, for the Institute of Marriage. We know you're the one who started it in Eden. We pray for these young people as they are looking forward to marriage, like what most of them said. We pray that you may capacitate them, give them the necessary resources, and more so, we pray that they may partner with you as they are making this important life choice of choosing who to get married to. We pray that you may all bless us in our marriages, for those who are looking forward to their marriages, and for us in already married. After all has been said and done, our desire is to be served with our spouses and our families, to sin no more. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Wezumthandazo wami wangithethelela wangiyethula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo yebo wethula umthwalo wala ungadlula yebo wethula umthwalo ngomthandazo lwami lwaphela uJesu wavusa umoya wami wangingethula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo yebo wethula umthwalo wala ungadlula yebo wethula umthwalo ngomthandazo lwami lwaphela uJesu wavusa umoya wami wangingethula umthwalo wangishiya uJesu wami wangithula umthwalo wangishiya ngehlanzekile uJesu wami wangithula umthwalo wangishiya ngehlanzekile kusi Jesu yangithanda kusi Jesu yamuthanda kusi Jesu wangifela lapho esiphambanweni kusi Jesu yangithanda kusi Jesu yamuthanda kusi Jesu wangifela lapho esiphambanweni uJesu wami wangithula umthwalo wangishiya ngehlanzekile uJesu wami wangithula umthwalo wangishiya ngehlanzekile ngizomethemba njalo uyayazi indlela uzongihola Jesu angisekele ezulwini ngolanda ngibongaphakade ungethula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo ngizomethemba njalo ubuya yazi indlela uzongihola Jesu angisekele ezulwini ngolanda ngibongaphakade ungethula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo yebo wethula umthwalo ungadlula yebo wethula umthwalo ngomthandazo lwami lwaphela uJesu wavusa umoya wami wangithula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo yebo wethula umthwalo ungadlula yebo wethula umthwalo ngomthandazo lwami maphela Jesu avusa umoya wami wangethula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo yebo wethula umthwalo ungadlula yebo wethula umthwalo ngomthandazo wami uvalo lwami maphela Jesu avusa umoya wami wangethula umthwalo wangishiya ngethulo Dakarwadziwa Jehova asama Zitema zakandifuwira pasi Dakachemandiri momu matopetsenzi akandiburitsa kunzeze Andiburitsa mumatope Andilisa ine paloma Nasi andi parweyo umoyo rekukunza Alleluia Andilisa padombo petona ye Masiko angu asimiswa pano Andi zonzo putike ndire pano Domi andi zofika jiremba Andi buritsa mumatope Andi nisa ini padomba Nasi andi pariyo mumoyo Alleluia Andi pario lutsarero koza Noru imba usiku nesikati Oyo wangu wazarane rufarundi Ichazo kuza mununuri wangu Jehova Andi buritsa mumatope Andilisa ini padombo Nasi andi pariyo umoyo rekukunza Alleluia Dichaimba tsitsi zake kuneni Kunaka kwake kunewese Dichazoimba rupone sokwese Akarawese basimire mwari Dichaimba tsitsi zake kuneni Kunaka kwake kunewese Imbaruko esokwese Akawese wasimire mari Andiburitsa mumatope Ona Anisa ini